The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Well, welcome in, Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We have Derek Whibley of Sum 41 checking in with us at 8 o'clock. Also, guaranteed entry passes for the Group Love pop-up. We had our Halloween pop-up last Friday at Cubby Bear. We have another one coming up a week from Friday at the Cubby Bear with Group Love. That'll be coming up in Clash with Kenzie at 10. Plus, it's True Crime Tuesday at 8:30. We'll talk about crime out there. Kenzie's going to introduce you to one of those spooky Netflix-type crime situations going on. A story.
And so this came about really like a little bit more organically than that because I ran across this story that's been ongoing in like the Illinois area for a bunch of time. Like I fell into like a TikTok deep dive and I'm like, how have I never heard about this story? And it's really eerie because to this day, no matter who, like everybody who hears it is almost split in half. It's one of those.
Ooh, that's a good tease.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you, and even as the story unfolded, as I like fell down this rabbit hole, I'm like, well, obviously he's guilty. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like it went back and forth and back and forth. And people still now are appealing and making arguments over this case. So very interesting. And I'd asked Brian about it. He had never heard it. And then I didn't tell you any details.
I know nothing about the story you're going to lay out at about 8:30
because
here.
I wanted you to be like, what the hell? Because I seriously, like living in Illinois all the time, I haven't stumbled across this before. And probably because it took so much time to become more and more interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't like as instant, you know, but it's really developed over years and years and years. So I'm kind of excited because I want to know how many people know about it or haven't heard about it at all. It's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait.
interesting.
I love true crime. I love falling into even 2020 on Friday nights.
Yeah.
I can't stop that stuff. Excuse me.
Oh, you okay? Oh my God.
Get a little excited about it.
I just poisoned you.
That's the story. She killed me. It's the Kenzie show now.
At the beginning of the show.
That's it, yeah.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And coming up, we'll have some facts to make your brain go about Halloween. A whole bunch of them. They're going to blow your mind about what you're doing for Halloween, what other people spend. I want to start with this one, actually. And by the way, we haven't said what we're wearing today for Halloween. Kenzie's putting up a picture in a second. Do you want to announce it or just announce it on Facebook?
No, I got to post it first.
Oh, you want to wait till you post it? Your costume?
Yeah, I have to.
She's been talking about it for months, and I listened very carefully.
No, you didn't.
And
You asked what I was this morning.
I wanted to really, really surprise her by saying things like that when Kenzie walked in. And boy, what a costume.
Screw you, Brian. You looked right at me and didn't know what I was.
That's not true.
It is true. What's not true about that?
I listened really hard, and I'd forgotten just for a moment. But when you see the picture at Q101's Facebook page, you'll see how much of a dummy I am. You will see that.
Okay.
It's coming up quickly. Be posted there. I'll just give you one fact right now since I have a bunch. That 1,189 years ago, that's the year 834, the Roman Catholic Church moved All Hallows Eve to today. So the celebration was to honor saints. Now it's for zombies, vampires, and all other kinds of things. So it's wild, Kenzie, before you came in, Case told me he used to go to church on Halloween night back in the day. Did anybody else do that? Or is it just Case the producer? Because I've never heard of going to church on Halloween, but because it was actually a religious holiday. That's right, Case?
Well, yeah, because November 1st is All Saints Day, and that's a holy day of obligation in the Catholic Church. And so they give you like a window. You can go the 31st or the 1st to church. You just have to go on one of the holy days of obligation. So as a kid, I would be in full costume. Like I was Darth Maul with the face paint and the double-ended lightsaber, but I had to go to church that night, and it sucked.
Oh, my God.
So you'd go after trick-or-treating?
No, I'd go before. It was like the pregame.
Oh, well, at least you didn't have to do it after.
I know, but it's like, in no disrespect to the man upstairs, but it's Halloween. I don't want to deal with that.
I never looked at it as a holy day. Now, are you Catholic? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I mean, in theory.
in theory, I'm Orthodox, which is kind of like Catholic, I guess, in a way.
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't think the Catholics would largely agree with that.
Well, actually, they get along pretty well.
Okay.
They do.
It's a nice change of pace for the Catholics to get along with somebody. not very friendly more often than not.
I just didn't know if anybody
Well,
went
Case
to...
would know.
Yeah. Oh, he's certainly. He was a deacon in his church.
I was not a deacon. My mom says her biggest regret in life is that I'm not a priest. I say, well, cat's a little out of the bag on that one. I don't think I'm going to go back.
Yeah, toothpaste is out of the tube.
Yeah. Look, I'm living a life. What can I say?
Yeah, you can't go back on that one.
But I went to church often on Halloween, and it was never an enjoyable experience.
I can't believe anybody. Let's see, Allie's checking in.
I've never heard of that.
Either have I. And I get it that the holy day is tomorrow. And then, of course, in the Hispanic community, Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
So tomorrow and the rest of the week, I believe.
Yeah, you're mainly coming in on like November 1st and 2nd for that celebration.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
I
Who's ofrendas ready?
I actually love doing that in the celebration of people that you've lost and how it's done. I love
You
that.
love doing it? Have you done it?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
He just loves the idea of it.
Exactly. Like I want to.
love doing that. I'm like, oh my God, you've done it?
No, I love the idea of it. Like I wish I was Hispanic so I could just go along with it. I wish I could do that.
Still celebrate. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hispanics will allow it.
Yeah.
Let's clear it with the Hispanics
Not
first.
big gatekeepers. You know?
Well, I want to clear it with the Hispanic listeners first before I do it.
I'm sure they'd really appreciate that.
I do. I think it's an amazing holiday. And how they celebrate.
Do you have an ofrenda? Do you have a mantle?
No.
You can set one up. People set up their own.
You have to have a mantle?
Well, no, like that's where everything gets set up. Is like you do a mantle. A lot of people kind of create their own though, like not a shrine, but a shrine, so to speak, where you can put all the pictures up and the candles.
Yeah.
And then the marigolds.
It doesn't matter where it is. I just got to set up a shrine in the house.
Yeah, because I'm just like, listen, I didn't grow up in Mexico or anything, so I would imagine mantles on fireplaces are less common in a lot of houses in Mexico, right? So yeah, you can set up your own, but like if you have a mantle, people use that the ofrenda, or you can kind of create your own and put the candles, especially depending on how many loved ones have passed away in your family that you're lighting the candles for.
Yeah.
You'd have a photo of them, a candle, and then you do the marigolds.
I'm going to do it.
You gonna do it?
I'm going to do it.
Who are you going to honor? Is it like Eddie Van Halen?
Well, it would be my dad.
Oh, well, that's like a real answer. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say.
What you wanted to say is that sucks, and then you stopped yourself.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I got real.
No, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Hey, Eddie Van Halen is real to me, too.
He's real, damn it.
And that would be up there. I think Pee Wee would probably be up there, too.
Pee Wee Herman's in your top 3?
So my dad, Eddie Van Halen, and Pee Wee Herman.
And that's how we got here. That's Brian for you.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, time for some facts to make your brain go right here on Q101 Halloween Day. Probably the coldest Halloween day in the history of Chicago. So that's a fact right there going on. Later on, you got to... So you're taking your son out trick-or-treating tonight?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. See, I'm not there yet with an almost 1-year-old. We went out at Lincoln Square on Sunday. They had this thing for the kids out there, and it was nice. But it was daytime, noon, and we did that. So we're not taking Harper out tonight.
Oh, she's not even going to do a quick little round?
Well, the thing is, I don't even have any candy. I'm not sure.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with you?
Well, here's the thing. We live in a standard Chicago, 3-flat walk-up, and you have to get buzzed in. I don't think kids are going to be buzzing in. Last year, I remember nobody buzzed. We bought all this candy. So I didn't want to spend the $20 or $30 on candy and then have no one show up.
Break the bank there.
Yeah, exactly.
$20 on candy. You can't do it.
I mean, we ate it in the next couple of weeks. It doesn't take that long, but I don't know, people, when you live in that situation, do you expect kids? Did you already stock up on candy to have ready just in case? Because
you always have to have some just in case, because you don't want to be that person.
I'm starting to give out like my trail mix if they show up.
Oh, God.
Be the worst.
You have trail mix without M&Ms in it, too. You have ass trail mix.
It is ass trail mix, but it's healthy.
Horrible.
It's very nice. It's very good for you, but it sucks. All right, so 73% of Americans plan on celebrating in some way tonight. The average person spent $108. $108. This is actually the second most expensive holiday after Christmas. There's nothing more. I thought Thanksgiving would be with everybody coming over to the house, making, food plans, but Halloween is now past everybody except for Christmas. That's pretty wild to me.
No, that makes sense, because, I mean, it gets so expensive. I think of the money I spent, not only for me to have costumes for events, but then your kids.
Yeah.
So you got to do all their stuff. Your significant other has to do something. You have to decorate the house. You have to have candy. It keeps getting amped up.
How much do you think you spent? If 108 is the average in Chicago, what do you think?
On my costume?
Just everything for Halloween. That's what this is. This isn't just on the costume. This is on everything. $108 average.
On everything?
Everything. I want to hear your number.
We had to spend over $100 on candy for our neighborhood.
I mean, I want you to count your decorations on the house. Uh-huh. Did you spend $1,000 overall then if you add up everything? Your costumes, candy, decorations.
Pumpkins. Like my son's costume, husband's got probably.
$1,000.
Because the candy was over 100.
I know, candy's out of control.
We live in a really big neighborhood. And candy's really expensive this year. Like, we had to get bags and bags and yeah.
You're going to hit, right? Because you have tons.
Oh, yeah. We spent close to $150 on candy.
Damn. You went over the average overall spending for Halloween on just candy.
On candy.
Do you think you get...
It'll be gone. We're gone. Every year we run out. No matter how much we buy.
I don't even know how to base this. Like, me and Case talk about concert venues, how many people are there all the time. Do you have 100 kids or more than 100 kids?
More than 100 come to our house.
More than 200?
I mean, I would say... Because we buy... way over 100, like way over that amount, and we run out every year. And we add to it every year, like, oh, one more bag ought to do it then. And then that's gone. And then we're like, well, then one more bag. Then I'm like, oh my God. We have so much.
Running out the Target in the middle of it and trying to get more.
Oh, it's so bad. So we always run out. So we try, I mean, and I hate that. I don't want to be the house that doesn't have candy for kids.
That's the worst.
It's the worst.
I'm that right now, so I don't know what I'm going to do on the way home today, if I'm going to go buy some or not.
During the pandemic, I had like this like cat suit that I wore. And then my husband noticed that these 13-year-old boys came back 3 times. And he goes, okay, that's enough. I'm going to be the one answering the door from now on. And we got cleaned out pretty good.
All right, you horny little bastards. Move on to the next house.
He was so pissed. I'm like, why are you with their 13-year-olds? I go, they're probably coming back because we have like, we do like full-size candy bars. I go, that's probably why they're coming back. He goes, yeah, I don't think so because I answered the door once and they never came back.
That's amazing.
Well,
you know, Halloween going back, some of the traditions like in the 18th century, Halloween used to be geared toward finding a husband for the ladies out there. You were supposed to help them meet a romantic match. Women used to throw apple peels over a shoulder, hoping to see their future husband's initials in the pattern they made when they landed. So apple peels, that was a Halloween tradition. That's how bobbing for apples happened, by the way. That's where apples came into play for Halloween, was that tradition. It just kind of got molded over the years.
Because they're like, oh, you really want to get a husband? What that mouse do? That makes more sense.
It says when bobbing for apples at parties, the winner would supposedly marry first. It's kind of like throwing the garter belt at weddings. That's also part of it.
That's where it came from?
I guess, yeah, it's part of it. Part of where that thing.
Oh. That has to be the most unsanitary thing that you can do.
Oh, it's so gross.
Everyone's mouth.
Like, I didn't think about it back then, but now I guess the world we live in now, it's just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
God.
Not good.
Not good.
It's disgusting.
Let us know what you spent, by the way. I'm kind of curious how many people are out there.
That's impossible. On everything, the average is 108. I don't believe that. Because costumes, you spent how much on your Porch Pirate costume?
This thing.
Yeah.
$79.
Exactly.
Look at this thing. Stop it. We'll put a picture up of it at Q101's Facebook page since Kenzie's beautiful.
You look like you work at a restaurant called Shenanigans.
You know, I look like, I was going to say Long John Silver's, but there used to be a restaurant called Captain Hook back in the day. And they did. I think these outfits are from that. This is the lamest pirate costume ever. Me and Case got it over at Halloween City. No offense to them, just that's what it was.
No, I just want to point out, Brian showed up to work in normal people clothes. He then, during the first commercial break, took his pants and shirt off in the middle of the hallway and changed clothes. And then during the last commercial break, his pirate pants fell down in the studio. I've seen so much of Brian today.
It's a lot.
I can't work like this.
Yeah.
I feel violated.
I know.
Some work environments are tougher than others, and this is one. There was a parrot that cost $13. It was part of this costume.
That I talked you into buying.
Please talk me into it. It won't stay on. So I'm going to take it back today. Can I get a refund on a Halloween part of a costume today, you think?
No.
We're going in there. If you're riding with me.
I don't know if you've ever tried to go to a Halloween store, like, after the time. It's going to be abandoned. You're going to be like... You're going to look like Will Smith when he walks back into the house at the end of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
doing today? I need that $13 back because his parrot's stupid. It doesn't work. Case goes, get it. It'll be amazing.
I love the idea of it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring it? You could have just glued it.
Oh, I have it. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right. We were just talking about the Halloween expense. $108 is average in Chicago, but as Kenzie pointed out, she probably spent about $1,000 on everything with the costumes, the decorations, pumpkins.
Yes.
And even this stupid pirate costume, I'm a porch pirate, by the way. Thanks to the Uber driver who's out there listening, the only one who got the costume Friday night who picked me up. And he said, porch pirate, very funny.
Seems like it.
I was on the car for like 3 seconds. Thank you, bro. You got it. Chef Sean checked in. Brian's real costume, cheap bastard. Thank you. Good. Thank you for that, Chef Sean. Appreciate you checking in.
Our listeners get us. We'll get you that. It's
That's
delightful.
so accurate.
Yeah. I should have. Nothing's cheaper except for I just found a sheet on it. It was a ghost. That's about it.
You should have done that.
Yeah.
You're so tall, though. I'd love to see this. Your dingleberries be hanging out of your sheets.
Oh, my God. Well, listen. Last night was Devil's Night. Now, I'm not sure if Devil's Night has been canceled overall in the time, but Case has a big worry about his family's house as it's unguarded right now. But first off, did anybody get hit last night? Toilet papering, eggs? I don't know. You're in the burbs out there in Elgin. Did you see anything?
I don't know. They would have had a rude awakening because I have to leave my house at 4 a.m. though. So I probably would have tackled one of the bastards. Hey.
Lacquered them?
Yeah.
And you're right. You made this point a couple days ago. Like the Ring doorbell may have stopped this from happening because everybody's got a camera out of their house now and you can catch the damn kids doing it. Toilet papering and it lasts forever. It's in the trees. But what'd you say, Case? So your neighbors' homes where your parents live have already gotten hit with eggs last night.
Yeah, as my parents who live in central Indiana, their neighborhood's getting egged really hard right now. And my parents are really concerned because they're on vacation in Jackson Hole looking for bears, which bear update. My dad calls me on Sunday. They've been in Jackson Hole for a few days. He goes, haven't even seen any bears. This trip sucks so far.
You might not also be new to the show. Case, the producer's dad, is infatuated with bears and travels the country by himself, even without his mom sometimes, to look for bears.
That's right. And doesn't look for specific bears in terms of species, looks for specific bears in terms of name. He's been all excited in the past that he's found specific bears.
What do you mean, like Fred?
Kinda, yeah.
Like, this is Fred the bear. Everybody knows Fred.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, there's Fred's mom, and she's like a legend in this part of town.
Good Lord.
It's a whole thing.
What?
Anyways, they
Why?
haven't.
What does she do?
Oh, she's old. He's looking for old bears, but they haven't seen any bears. But their neighborhood, the Facebook group, is blowing up because they keep on getting egged, all these houses, and they're gone for a few more days. They're really concerned that their house is going to get blown up with eggs, and then they're not going to be there to clean it up.
Can I ask you something?
What's up?
How the hell is it? No one lives out there. You didn't even have neighbors.
They live in a neighborhood now.
Oh, they moved away from the barn with no neighbors?
When I moved away to college is when they moved into a neighborhood, which I always felt like
With
was
the
super
family?
mean. like growing up, I had no neighbors. I didn't have a lot of friends. And then as soon as I left the house, they moved into like a vibrant, thriving neighborhood with all of these people around them.
Maybe they knew that you'd get bullied. Like they were like, we're just gonna move out here.
Yeah. Let's not punish this kid. Let's live as far away in the middle of the sticks as anywhere.
They were kind of like looking out for you.
I have undeveloped social skills as a result. It's not good.
Or you had that, and that's why they didn't put you in a social setting. They could read it well. It brought up the question, with all the services out there, like you can have anything, pretty much, food delivered to your home at any time of the night, however you want to do it. Is there a service that someone could watch your house for you on Devil's Night? It's over now.
Like a bounty hunter?
I don't know. I guess somebody intimidating with maybe sleeve tattoos that could sit in a chair in front of your house on Devil's Night. What do they charge for? Like $11 an hour? I would do that.
And do they charge by the hour? Is it, they have a holiday special?
Might be like a bodyguard. You
Yeah.
might hire security. Security is expensive though.
To do a house. A bodyguard for a house is funny.
I don't know if you can guarantee success. Somebody's got like a paintball gun.
A paintball gun does beat a human body, you're right.
No, like a drive-by.
Oh,
you can't guarantee it doesn't happen.
That's right.
Man,
Like, but I was here to see it.
I'm just curious if anybody got hit. 312-591-8300. Anybody get hit on Devil's Night last night? Because I'm just curious if it still exists. It sounds like it does in Central Indiana.
815 texted it. I got toilet papered and have a Ring camera. They strategically did it out of view of the camera.
God, they've gotten that smart.
These criminals.
What are they in the movie The Town? Bank robbers spraying the cameras with black paint before they throw toilet paper in your tree.
You gotta get a wider range on that Ring doorbell, man.
Yeah. Gotta have motion sensors by the mailbox with another camera.
Mine goes off when people walk up the side. Like, if you were in the front yard, mine would go off.
Yeah, but you've also described your security system. It sounds like you live in the Pentagon. They're so intense, the home security system.
Mean?
It's just, you're always stressed out about the alarm and if it's on, if it's off. It sounds like you have a lot of home security.
My husband's is really weird about the alarm.
I do remember you said.
Gotta be on.
Well, the morning, I don't know what morning it was last week when you came in and you go like, I set the alarm and I forgot something. I can't go back in the house. And I go, well, can't you hit the code? No. It'll set all the alarms, the flashers will go off and the police will be here with their laser scopes and the long guns. Like when you see what
happened was when I leave, because I leave at 4 a.m.
Sure.
My husband likes me to reset the nighttime alarm, which is any door, any window, or motion in the house besides our rooms. Okay. So he wants me to reset that. I set it and I went outside and realized I left my key inside for my car.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do because you got to stop the alarm from inside the house. So I had to call my husband until he answered his phone. I was like, you turn the alarm off because I left my key in the house. And this thing is loud and crazy. Like my son runs in a room because we have a lockdown drill.
It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, no, it's not great.
I bet you she goes back in the house and literally like a helicopter's there in 30 seconds with the spotlights going down on the ground. Guys going, hut, 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 hut. SWAT comes out.
And it's all because Kinsey forgot her key in the house.
I was just like, oh my God, this is a bad morning. I was late.
Oh, it's so wild.
So, Brian, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because you came in wanting to talk about Devil's Night. It seems like it's something you have a real affinity for. It's not something that I grew up, again, no neighbors growing up for the longest time. It's not something I was necessarily targeted with when I was growing up.
Right.
Was this a big thing for you?
Much bigger in my days in school, and like houses
Were you targeted a lot?
We were targeted, but it was almost it was revenge attacks.
What were
Revenge.
you? Wait, what were you doing?
I helped my brother throw eggs and toilet paper and soap the windows of a guy's car.
Soap the windows?
You take a bar of soap
You
and
give him a car wash?
No.
That'll show
You're
him.
the worst at this.
You write words with a bar of soap on the car, like, you're a bitch or something like that,
That's what you wrote?
I don't remember writing that.
What'd you write?
I said, hi. Sorry.
You're
What's
a
his
bitch.
phone number?
So then my
He just
brother,
left his business card for more car washes.
I mean, never scratching or fully damaging a car. You do not mess with people's automobiles, except with soap and eggs and toilet paper, whatever. But we woke up the next morning, and my brother's car, which was all of our cars actually, woke up with a chain around the car, locking in all the doors with a master lock on it. So you could not get in the car. There was a metal chain all the way around it. And then eggs all cracked open like over easy on the hood. And a sign that said, don't F with my car. So it was kind of a revenge attack.
Sounds like you got what you deserved.
My brother, not me.
Can I tell a story of catching somebody doing something to my house when I was in high school?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Okay, so I was outside in my car parked in the driveway because a few of my friends were in the car. We were just all talking late at night because that's at the age where you're like, well, if you go inside, then your night's over. So you just sit in cars and crap. So we're sitting there, and I always had this one friend who's kind of a bitch, and we're definitely not friends anymore. But in high school, it's oh, you once again tried to hook up with my boyfriend at a party, or
Oh,
it
boy.
was one of those friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see this car slowly go around the block, and I'm like, what's this car doing? It's weird. Because they were creeping, right? Looked like they were looking for a house. And it was late. It was 1 or 2 in the morning. And finally, it comes back around the block and it stops in front of my house. I'm like, well, that kind of looks like Ellie's car. And then and then I see a girl get out and she's slowly walking. And I'm like, well, that kind of looks like Ellie. And she had spray paint in her hand and she was walking out to my house. She was going to spray paint our house.
Oh my God.
And I got out of my car and I go, really, bitch? And her face, because she didn't think anybody was outside, and I tackled her onto the ground, and she was just screaming. We got in a huge fight. She ran away. And then I drove to her house the next day with the can of spray paint and told her parents.
Oh.
I go, just so you know, I'm not going to damage your house, but your daughter is outside, like, literally causing huge destructive property. And here's, like, her spray paint, and I tackled her last night, and that's why her face is bloody today. So, heads up.
Honesty's the best policy.
Oh, I beat the crap out of her.
I don't know. Listen, this just shows the difference. Tony checked in. I've never heard of Devil's Night outside the movie The Crow.
That's my knowledge of it as well.
I can tell you, people in
I've heard of Devil's Night.
Okay,
1,000%.
good. And you've never heard of it, Chase?
Not really. What's my name?
Case?
Okay.
Grace?
Crace?
Crow?
Crow Case? Because, I mean, there was, if people don't remember, Detroit is known for, like, burning down on Devil's Night. And I will never forget.
I don't know if that's accurate.
No, Kenzie, go do a deep dive in the old days.
It starts on fire?
People burn it. People burn it down to the ground.
Every year, they start from scratch.
They have to start Detroit over every year.
That's
It's like their
interesting.
economy's been so rough lately. It's got to
Tough one.
rebuild a city.
I can tell you.
This is good to know. I won't open a store there. You know what I mean? Bad call.
Listen, I lived near there for a while, and I'll never forget the newscast one night. This is, I think, in the early 2000s, where they said, breaking news, we have wonderful news to talk about on Devil's Night here in Detroit. Incredible, historic night. All the efforts from all police and government agencies set a record tonight. And then they went to some other reporter on the street, kind of like Glenn Marshall and WGN. They went, Glenn, what's the story? And he goes, well, we want to report, and we're happy to report, that there was a record low 694 fires in Detroit tonight. I was like, wait, that's the low?
694 fires?
Yeah, that was a record
and
low.
it's like businesses?
Just everything. A lot of abandoned houses and things like that. And
That's nice.
That's what they are. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah,
Well, you know what they call abandoned houses?
What?
Firewood.
Don't burn anything. Devil's Night's over. You shouldn't do this, but that's what had happened.
You probably should have talked about this yesterday. You came off the day after to give a PSA.
Yeah. Gil, how about taking headlines? We're a day late. Sorry, houses that burned.
This is not headline news. Today is Halloween. Oddly enough, the one day a year where parents actively encourage their kids to take candy from strangers. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the top-selling Halloween candy. The worst selling? Reese's Feces. In their new movie, Jesse Eisenberg and Adrian Brody join an all-male cult. It's called Three Stooges Fans. Adele stopped her show when she saw her OBGYN in the crowd. If Madonna stopped a show every time she recognized a guy who had that view, the concert would be 17 hours long. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.